Good morning, student. So this is our third lecture on a topic AC circuit. In the last period we had seen an AC circuit containing purely resistance only, or an AC circuit containing a pure inductor only. Now today we will see what happens when AC voltage is applied to a capacitor. Now you know the schematic symbol used to represent a component known as a capacitor. What is the function of capacitor, or it is also known as condenser? A capacitor or a condenser, it is a device which is used to store large amount of electric charges at relatively low potential. A device which can store large amount of electric charge at relatively low potential is called a capacitor. So let us consider, see here, this is a schematic symbol of what? Whenever we will see such type of symbol, it will represent a source of alternating EMF. So a source of alternating EMF E equal to E0 sine of omega t. It is applied across a capacitor or a condenser of capacity C. Capacitor or a condenser of capacity C, where E0 represent the peak value of alternating EMF, while omega represent the angular frequency of rotation. Now what is the effect of applying a source of alternating EMF across a capacitor? No doubt there starts a flow of electric current, and when current starts flowing through the circuit, it means charges were transferred to the plates of capacitor, and as charges were deposited on the plates of capacitor, it means potential difference is developed across the plates of capacitor. But remember, because that current changes its direction after every half cycle. During the positive half cycle, suppose positive charges are deposited on the left plate of condenser, while negative charges are deposited on right plate of condenser. After half cycle, as current reverses its direction, means current changes its direction. Means instead of positive charges here on this plate, there must be a deposition of negative charges, whereas positive charges, they must be deposited on the opposite plate. So remember, as we apply a source of alternating EMF across a capacitor, current starts flowing, means there will be a transfer of charge to the plates of capacitor, which produces potential difference across capacitor. But because current reverses its direction after every half cycle, due to this capacitor, it must be what? Alternately charged and discharged. There is alternate charging and discharging of capacitor will take place. There is an alternate charging and discharging of capacitor will take place. And remember, by definition, as current is nothing but rate of flow of charge. Current is nothing but what? Rate of flow of charge. If I say that at some instant of time t, at some instant t, let Q be the amount of charge deposited on the plate of a condenser, and let V be the potential difference between the two plates of capacitor. Then by definition, capacitance C is equal to charge deposited divided by what? Potential difference. What is the definition of condenser or a capacitor? A condenser or capacitor, C is given by charge deposited upon potential difference. Therefore, Q is equal to C into V. Q is equal to what? C into V. Where what this Q is? It is the net charge deposited on the plate of capacitor. C is the capacity of condenser and V represent the potential difference across the plates of capacitor. Now here, what is the potential difference across plates of capacitor? It is E. Means we can say this Q is equal to C into E. So this is our equation number 2. But by definition, current flowing through the circuit at any instant of time. Remember here, we are just finding the instantaneous current. And if I say I is the current flowing through the circuit at any instant of time t, then that instantaneous current is nothing but rate of flow of charge, I equal to dq by dt. But by definition, Q is equal to C into E. So this is equal to d dt of, now in place of this charge Q, what we can write? C into E. C is the capacity of condenser, which is constant. So it can be taken outside that differentiation and we are having C into dE by dt. But here E represents an alternating EMF applied across capacitor and that alternating EMF is given by E equal to E0 sin omega t, E equal to E0 sin omega t. So this is equal to C into d dt of E0 sin of omega t. Now E0 is constant, take it outside the differentiation, therefore I equal to C is as it is. This E0 will be taken outside, so E0C. Now what is d dt of sin omega t? d dt of sin of omega t is equal to E0. Now d dt of sin omega t, it is cos omega t into d dt of omega t. What is it? d dt of angle omega t with respect to time, it is omega, so E0 omega and that C as it is. So E0C and this omega will be what? d dt of sin omega t is omega into cos omega t. So this can be written as E0 divided by, can I write 1 by omega c? So it becomes E0 omega c into cos of omega t. But cos of theta is equal to sin pi by 2 plus theta. Therefore, I is equal to equation for instantaneous current. I equal to, see here, E0 divided by 1 by omega c into, now in place of cos omega t we can write sin omega t plus pi by 2. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 1. What equation number 1 gives? It is the alternating EMF applied across a purely capacitive circuit. Alternating EMF applied across a pure capacitor. So as E equal to E0 sin omega t, this alternating EMF is applied to a capacitor. What is the corresponding current flowing through that purely capacitive circuit? It is given by I equal to E0 upon 1 by omega c sin omega t plus pi by 2. According to, see here, as E0 is constant and omega c is also constant, so E0 upon 1 by omega c, it must be equal to constant and say that constant is I0 because according to Ohm's law, E0 upon R is equal to I0. So therefore E0 upon 1 upon omega c is constant and say that constant denoted by what? I0. So what this current I becomes? Current I is equal to, now I can replace E0 upon 1 by omega c, E0 upon 1 by omega c, it is constant and that is equal to I0 into sin of omega t plus pi by 2, sin of omega t plus pi by 2. So this is the corresponding current flowing through a purely capacitive circuit. What is the EMF applied across a purely capacitive circuit? E equal to E0 sin omega t. what is the corresponding current flowing through purely capacitive circuit? I equal to I0 sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Now, if I compare equation 1 with equation 2, see here, E equal to E0 sine omega t. Here, I equal to I0 sine omega t plus pi by 2 means current leaves the EMF. So in purely capacitive circuit, alternating current leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2. Alternating current leads the alternating EMF. Alternating current leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2 radian in purely capacitive circuit. So the most important conclusive line, that in purely capacitive circuit, alternating current leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2. What is the reverse of this? It means in purely capacitive circuit, EMF lags behind. Alternating EMF lags behind the alternating current by phase angle of pi by 2. So in purely capacitive circuit, alternating current leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2 radian, or alternating EMF in purely capacitive circuit, alternating EMF lags behind the current by phase angle of pi by 2 radian. Now, as far as these equations are concerned, they can be represented on a graph paper. Remember one thing, E equal to E0 sine omega t. Sine omega t means this alternating EMF, it must be a sine curve. This dark sinusoidal wave will represent an alternating EMF E equal to E0 sine omega t. काही पाठांतर करायचं नाही. E equal to E0 sine omega t means alternating EMF can be represented by means of what? Sine wave. This is a dark sine wave. Whereas now this alternating current, see here, I equal to what? I0 cos omega t. E0 upon 1 by omega c means it is I0 cos of omega t. It means that current I, which is I0 sine omega t plus pi by 2 means cos omega t. So that alternating current, it must be a cosine curve. So see here, this dotted curve, which represent what? A cosine curve. So the alternating current in purely capacitive circuit, it is shown by means of a cosine curve. Again you remember that as far as I0 is concerned, I0 equal to E0 upon 1 by omega c. This 1 by omega c is greater than 1. It means this I0 is always less than E0. That's why the amplitude or the peak value of alternating current is shown somewhat less compared to that of peak value of alternating EMF. So this is how the EMF and current, they are varying with respect to that of time. Now, as we know that in case of purely capacitive circuit, current leads the EMF, alternating current leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2. So in the phasor diagram for purely capacitive circuit, the phasor corresponding to peak value of alternating EMF is 0. It is inclined with the horizontal axis at an angle of omega t, and that is taken in what? Anti-clockwise direction. E0, a phasor representing the peak value of alternating EMF E0, it is inclined at an angle omega t with the horizontal axis, and that phasor is rotating in what? In anti-clockwise direction. And since in case of purely capacitive circuit, alternating current leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2. So that's why the phasor representing the peak value of alternating current will be shown at 90 degree in what? In anti-clockwise direction with respect to that of E0. Because the current, alternating current in purely capacitor circuit, it leads the alternating EMF by phase angle of pi by 2. So the phasor corresponding to peak value of current will be shown in anti-clockwise direction at 90 degree with what? With the peak value of alternating EMF. With the peak value of alternating EMF. So this is about how or what happens when alternating current or alternating voltage is applied to a capacitor. Remember, whenever we have to study AC voltage applied to a capacitor, means anyhow we want to find out what is the relationship between alternating current and alternating EMF. So in case of AC circuit containing capacitor, if alternating EMF E equal to E0 sin omega t is applied, then the current flowing through the circuit I equal to I0 sin of omega t plus pi by 2. Now we will see what that net opposition offered by a capacitor to the flow of an alternating current. Net opposition offered by a capacitor to the flow of alternating current is called a capacitive reactance. Now before studying what is capacitive reactance, look at this phasor diagram for purely capacitive circuit. Here if I draw the projection of phasor E0 on y-axis, it is E0 sin omega t, or a projection of phasor I0 on y-axis, it is I0 sin of omega t plus pi by 2. Means projection of phasor E0 or I0 on y-axis will always gives us the instantaneous value of alternating current and instantaneous value of what? Alternating EMF that is flowing through a purely capacitive circuit. That is flowing through what? A purely capacitive circuit. So as far as this phasor diagram for purely capacitive circuit is concerned, you must remember the phasor representing peak value of alternating EMF, it is inclined at an angle of omega t from the horizontal axis in anti-clockwise direction, and because that alternating current in purely capacitive circuit leads the EMF by phase angle of pi by 2 or 90 degree, so that's why the phasor representing I0, it is rotated through an angle of 90 degree in anti-clockwise direction with respect to that of phasor corresponding to what? Peak value of alternating EMF. Peak value of what? Alternating EMF. And the last but the important one, that the projection of phasor E0 or I0 on y-axis will use us what? Instantaneous value of alternating current or instantaneous value of alternating EMF. Now we will see that as far as this capacitor is concerned or this circuit is concerned, what is the current flowing through the circuit? Instantaneous current flowing through a purely capacitive circuit is I equal to E0 upon 1 by omega c into sin omega t plus pi by 2. Sin omega t plus pi by 2. Now, if this E0 upon 1 by omega c, E0 is constant, 1 by omega c is constant, and if I replace E0 upon 1 by omega c by a new constant I0, then we will get I equal to I0 sin of omega t plus pi by 2. Now if I compare this equation I0 equal to E0 upon 1 by omega c with the Ohm's law, what is that Ohm's law? I0 equal to E0 divided by R. Then what we conclude? That 1 by omega c represent the opposition offered by a capacitor to the flow of alternating current through it. So the net opposition or the effective resistance 1 by omega c will represent the effective resistance offered by a capacitor to the flow of alternating current through it is called a capacitive reactance. So there might be a question, define capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance is, on comparing or as far as the instantaneous current in AC circuit is concerned, it is given by I equal to E0 upon 1 by omega c sin omega t plus pi by 2. As E0 is constant, 1 by omega c is constant. So E0 upon 1 by omega c is the new constant, say it is equal to I0. So if I just compare I0 equal to E0 upon 1 by omega c and I0 equal to E0 by R according to Ohm's law, then we conclude that 1 by omega c will plays the same role as that of resistance R in purely resistive circuit, because this equation is obtained from what? Purely resistive circuit. This equation is obtained from what? Purely capacitive circuit. So according to Ohm's law, the role played by resistance in purely resistive circuit is to what? Oppose the flow of current. Similarly, 1 by omega c. What is the role of 1 by omega c? That 1 by omega c, its role is to oppose the flow of alternating current through a capacitor. So the effective resistance offered by a capacitor to the flow of alternating current through it is called a capacitive reactance, and that capacitive reactance is denoted by X suffix C. X means reactance and suffix C, it means it is capacitive reactance, because if I write XL, it represents inductive reactance. So capacitive reactance is 1 by omega c. But omega is nothing but 2 pi f. So 1 upon 2 pi fc, where f is the frequency of AC. So the capacitive reactance Xc, it varies inversely with frequency of alternating EMF. It varies inversely with capacity C of a condenser. It means, what we can say as far as this frequency f is concerned, frequency f is equal to 0 for DC, direct current or DC voltage. When f becomes equal to 0, then Xc becomes equal to what? Infinity. 1 by 0 means infinity. In other words, we can say capacitor will block DC, it won't allow any DC current to pass through it. Capacitor blocks DC. Why it blocks DC? Because capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to frequency. And as the frequency of DC is 0, so 1 by 0 it becomes equal to infinite. In other words, the net or the effective resistance offered by a capacitor to the flow of direct current or DC is infinite. In other words, you can say capacitor blocks DC. But if we use AC of what? High frequency. If we are having AC of high frequency, F is high, means Xc is what? Very, very low. Xc is very, very low. So capacitor allows the flow of AC, but it will block DC. Capacitor allows the flow of AC, but it will block what? DC. And capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to what? Frequency. Remember that as far as the dimensions of capacitive reactance are concerned, dimensions of capacitive reactance, they are same as that of dimensions of resistance. Means SI unit of capacitive reactance is ohm. SI unit of capacitive reactance is what? It is ohm. So you remember that if there comes a question for 1 mark, that define capacitive reactance, then the effective resistance offered by a capacitor to the flow of alternating current through it is called capacitive reactance. It is denoted by Xc and given by formula Xc equal to 1 by omega c, which is equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fc. Means capacitive reactance depends on frequency of AC and capacitor C. As frequency equal to 0 for DC, means Xc equal to infinite for DC, means this capacitor will totally block DC. But If we are having an AC of very high frequency, means F is very very high, then XC is low. In other words, capacitor allows AC, but it will block what? DC. And as far as the dimensions of capacitive reactance are concerned, they are same as that of dimensions of resistance. Therefore, you can say that the capacitive reactance has a unit ohm, which is same as that of unit of a resistance. Same as that of what? Unit of a resistance. Now let us consider one of the most important AC circuit, which consists of a coil or an inductor of inductance L, a condenser of capacity C, and a resistor of resistance R. And these L, C and R, they are all connected in what? Series, one after the other, across an alternating or across a source of an alternating EMF given by equation E equal to what? E0 sine of omega t, where E0 represent the peak value of alternating EMF, omega is angular frequency. We know very well that whenever components are connected in series, then current flowing through them must be same. Current flowing through them must be same. Remember here, as far as inductor is concerned, the opposition offered by or the effective resistance offered by an inductor to the flow of alternating current through it, it is called inductive reactance, denoted by XL. The total opposition or the effective resistance offered by capacitor to the flow of alternating current through it is called a capacitive reactance, and the net opposition offered by a resistor to the flow of current through it is known as a resistance. So here we are having an AC circuit which consists of all the three elements, that is inductor, capacitor and resistors, and they are connected in what? Series. Then the total opposition offered by an inductor, capacitor and resistor to the flow of alternating current through it is called impedance and is denoted by a letter Z. So what do we mean by an impedance? In an AC circuit, whenever an inductor or the total opposition or the effective resistance offered by an inductor, capacitor and resistors which are connected in series to the flow of alternating current through it is called impedance of that series LCR circuit. Impedance of series LCR circuit is what? It is the total resistance, effective resistance or total opposition offered by an inductor, capacitor and a resistance to the flow of alternating current through it is called impedance. And because here the elements inductor, capacitor and resistor, they are all connected in series, then we know whenever elements are connected in series in any circuit, what should be common? Current I flowing through series combination of L, C and R is same. It means the instantaneous current which is flowing through the series combination of inductor, capacitor and resistance, it is same, means its amplitude is same, amplitude of that alternating current is same, as well as the phase of an alternating current flowing through series combination of LCR is same. So what do you remember? The effective or the total opposition or the effective resistance offered by series combination of inductor, capacitor and resistor to the flow of alternating current through them is called impedance of series LCR circuit. Because L, C, R, they are all connected in series. So naturally, the current flowing through all the three elements is same. Means as far as that instantaneous alternating current is concerned, its both amplitude as well as phase will be same, which is flowing through L, C and that of what? R. Which is flowing through L, C and that of R. And let that current flowing through series LCR is I equal to I0 sine of omega t. I equal to what? I0 sine of omega t. Now, even though current flowing through L, C and R, they are same. But remember, voltage drop across L or C or R will have different phase relationship with the current flowing through them. Current flowing through all the three elements is same. They are all pointing in the same direction, means their amplitude is same, their phase is same. But the voltage across inductor, capacitor and resistor will have different phase relationship with the current flowing through them. Different phase relationship with current flowing through them. If I say that EMF across inductor is EL, across capacitor is EC and across resistance is ER. Let EL is the voltage across inductor, EC voltage across capacitor and ER voltage across resistance. We know that voltage across capacitor, look at this phasor diagram. Voltage across capacitor always lags in phase with alternating current by phase angle of 90 degree. Voltage across capacitor lags behind the alternating current by phase angle of what? 90 degree. By phase angle of 90 degree. Hence, voltage across capacitor here is shown by means of a phasor OC, which is rotated through 90 degree in anti-clockwise direction from the direction of current I0. See what I am saying. Even though current flowing through all the three L, C and R, it is same, means they are having same amplitude as well as what? Same phase. But the voltage across inductor, capacitor and resistor will have different phase relationship with what? The current flowing through them. As far as capacitor is concerned, voltage across capacitor EC, it lags behind the alternating current by phase angle of 90 degree. Means voltage across capacitor lags behind the alternating current by phase angle of 90 degree. Hence, that voltage across capacitor is shown by means of phasor OC, which is rotated through 90 degree from the direction of current I0. From the direction of current I0. Similarly, voltage across inductor EL, it leads the current. It leads the alternating current flowing through it by phase angle of 90 degree. Hence, EL is represented by means of OB, which is along OI direction. As EL leads the current, voltage across inductor leads the current. Hence, EL is represented by means of OB along OY axis, which is rotated through 90 degree in what? In anti-clockwise direction from the direction of I0. It means that EL is leading the current. It means EL is leading the current. And similarly, because the voltage across resistance and current through resistance both are in same phase, means they are pointing in same direction, hence ER and I0 both are shown in the same direction, that is along the positive direction of what? X-axis. Along the positive direction of X-axis. Now let us consider, as far as this circuit is concerned, it is inductive dominated circuit, means voltage across inductor is greater than voltage across capacitor. Look at this diagram. I had represented EL, EC, and here it is ER. EL is greater than EC means what is the effective resistance? Effective or reactive voltage. Effective or reactive voltage is equal to EL minus EC. See here, EL is greater than EC. So these two vectors, they are opposite in direction. So their resultant will be somewhere here, that is EL minus EC. So which I have shown here, OB dash will represent the reactive voltage or the effective voltage. So in rectangle OAKB dash, effective of OA and OB dash will be given by diagonal OK. In parallelogram OAKB, the two adjacent sides will represent the two vector ER and that of what? EL minus EC. When two vectors they are representing the two adjacent sides of parallelogram, then the resultant will be given by what? That diagonal whose starting point is same as that of starting point of given two vector. So the effective of OB dash and OA will be given by what? Diagonal OK. Given by diagonal OK. Therefore, OK is equal to arrow OK is equal to, or OK is equal to under root of. Now what you can say? OK equal to, according to Pythagoras theorem, OK equal to what? Base square plus height square. It means it is OA whole square plus OB dash whole square. So that is under root of. Now OA, it will represent ER. So it is E suffix R whole square plus OB dash, it is EL minus of EC whole square. EL minus of EC whole square. See here, as far as voltage across inductor, capacitor and resistance are concerned, EL is equal to, if I say current flowing through them is I, so EL is equal to IXL or I0XL. EC is equal to IXC and ER is equal to I into R. Or you can write EL is equal to I0XL, EC is equal to I0XC and ER is equal to I0 into R. ER is equal to what? I0 into R. Means either you can use this relation, voltage across inductor, EL is equal to IXL, EC is equal to IXC, ER is equal to IR. Now put this value of EL, EC and ER in this equation. So we will have. Now what about OK? OK will represent E0. That is voltage across, effective voltage across what? Series combination of LCR circuit. And I0 will represent what? The effective current flowing through series LCR circuit. So therefore OK means E0 equal to under root of ER means I0 into R whole square plus EL means I0 into XL, EC means I0 into XC whole square, or that is equal to under root of I0 square R square plus I0 can be taken common and outside means it is I0 square into what? XL minus XC whole square. Now that will be written as, see here I0 square, when it is taken outside the square root, it is I0 into under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So therefore, E0 upon I0 is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. XL minus XC whole square. But E0 upon I0 is a ratio of EMF to that of current according to Ohm's law. Here E0 upon I0, it must represent the total opposition or the effective resistance offered by series combination of inductor, capacitor and resistance to the flow of alternating current through it, and that is called as impedance. Therefore, E0 upon I0 equal to Z, and that Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. This Z is called the effective resistance offered by, or the total resistance offered by series combination of inductor, capacitor and resistance to the flow of alternating current through it, and it is called impedance. Dimensions of impedance are same as that of dimensions of resistance, means SI unit of impedance is also ohm. Reciprocal of impedance is called admittance. Reciprocal of impedance is called admittance. So as far as admittance is concerned, SI unit of admittance is ohm inverse or Siemens, or it is also known as what? Siemens. It is also known as a Siemens. Now look at the phasor diagram. Look at this phasor diagram for series LCR circuit. Carefully observe it. Here I have shown EC by means of OC. Arrow OC represent what? EC, because voltage across capacitor lags behind the current I0. While OB represent EL, because voltage across inductor leads the current I0, and EL and EC, they are opposite in direction. So the net reactive voltage is EL minus EC, and that is represented by means of what? OB dash. Now in a rectangle or in a parallelogram, OAKB dash, OA and OB dash, they will represent the two vectors ER and EL minus EC. So their effective will be given by OK, and that effective voltage or the voltage across series combination of LCR circuit EO is found to be equal to under root of EO equal to what? I0 into under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square, or E0 upon I0 equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. And according to Ohm's law, E0 upon I0, it must be what? Effective opposition offered by series LCR circuit to the flow of alternating current through it, and that is known as impedance of a circuit. Remember here, impedance of a circuit Z is equal to E0 upon I0, and I can write this as E0 by root 2 upon I0 by root 2, means E RMS divided by what? I RMS. So the impedance of series LCR circuit, it is also defined as the ratio of RMS value of alternating EMF applied across series combination of LCR to the RMS value of alternating current flowing through the series LCR circuit. Means you can define impedance in other way also. It is a ratio. Impedance of series LCR circuit, it is a ratio of RMS value of alternating EMF applied across series LCR circuit to the RMS value of alternating current flowing through what? Series LCR circuit. Series LCR circuit. So as far as this phasor diagram is concerned, look at this phasor diagram, that in series LCR circuit, phi represent the phase angle by which EMF leads the current. See here, E0 is E0 is what? EMF across series LCR circuit. So the angle, if phi represent the angle by which EMF leads the current I0 in series LCR circuit, then tan phi is equal to tan of phi is equal to, what is tan phi? See here, in triangle OAK, this angle phi is taken in anti-clockwise direction, and tan phi is equal to opposite side AK divided by adjacent side OA. So AK divided by OA. What is AK equal to? OB dash, and that is equal to EL minus EC. So this is EL minus EC upon OA. This OA will represent ER. Now we know that EL, either you can write it as IXL or I0XL, EC IXC or I0XC. So this becomes equal to I0 into, you can take as per your book, I0 into XL minus I0 into XC divided by I0 into R. So I0 can be taken common, in bracket XL minus XC divided by I0 into R. So this I0 get cancelled, and we are having the final relation that tan of phi is equal to XL minus XC divided by R. Tan phi is equal to what? XL minus XC divided by R. Now from this relation we are having the three important conditions. So those three important conditions that we will discuss one by one. The first condition, that if the circuit is such that XL is equal to XC. What is this phi? Phi is the angle by which the EMF of series LCR circuit leads the current. It is the angle of leading of EMF with respect to that of current. And if XL equal to XC means inductive reactance equal to capacitive reactance. In that case, tan phi becomes equal to what? 0. So this implies phi equal to 0. It means circuit is purely resistive, because current and resistance, they are in what? Same phase. Circuit is non-inductive, means circuit is purely resistive. Now second case, when XL is greater than XC, opposition offered by inductor is greater than opposition offered by capacitor. When XL is greater than XC, it means XL minus XC is greater than 0. Means XL minus XC is positive, means phi is positive, tan phi is positive. Phi is positive means tan phi is positive. Tan phi is positive, it means circuit is inductive dominated circuit. When XL is greater than XC, it means XL minus XC is greater than 0. Means tan phi is positive. Phi is positive means tan phi is positive. It means circuit is inductive dominated circuit. Circuit is what? It is inductive dominated circuit. Circuit is inductive dominated circuit. And the third case, that if XL is less than XC, means inductive reactance is less than capacitive reactance. It means XL minus XC is less than 0. Means XL minus XC is negative. Means tan phi is negative. Phi is negative means tan phi is negative. And tan phi is negative, it means circuit is what? Capacitive dominated circuit. Circuit is capacitive dominated circuit. So remember, from the phasor diagram we draw three conclusions. If phi represents the angle by which EMF in series LCR circuit leads the current, then from the phasor diagram, tan of phi is equal to opposite upon adjacent. Opposite is what? EL minus EC. divided by ER. You can put the value of EL equal to I0XL, EC equal to I0XC, ER equal to I0R. So you will get tan phi equal to XL minus XC upon R. Now there are three possibilities. Either XL equal to XC. When XL equal to XC, tan phi is 0 means phi is 0. It means circuit is purely resistive. Circuit is non-inductive. Second possibility, XL is greater than XC. When XL is greater than XC means tan phi is positive. Means phi is positive or circuit is inductive dominated circuit. When XL is less than XC, it means XL minus XC is negative. Tan phi is negative means phi is negative means circuit is capacitive dominated circuit. Now we will see the most important impedance triangle of a series LCR circuit. See, from the phasor diagram, that is from this three phasor, what we can say? EMF across resistance is given by I0 into R. Now voltage across inductor EL is equal to I0 into XL and EC is equal to I0 into XC because current flowing through L, C and R is same. But the voltages across L, C and R, they are different and they are having different phase relationship with the current I0. Now from this three phasor diagram for series LCR circuit, see here OA represent the ohmic resistance R. In right angle triangle OAK. Base OA, it represents the ohmic resistance R because ER equal to I0 into R. While the height AK, it represents what? XL minus XC means it represents reactance XL minus XC because XL is greater than XC. Circuit is inductive dominated circuit. So from the three phasor diagram, in right angle triangle OAK, base OA represent the ohmic resistance R, while the height AK will represent what? The inductive reactance, or height AK will represent what? Simply reactance. Here particularly inductive reactance because XL is greater than XC. So the diagonal OK will represent diagonal OK or hypotenuse OK will represent the impedance. Impedance means what? It is the total opposition, effective resistance offered by series combination of inductor, capacitor and resistor to the flow of alternating current through them, and that impedance Z is equal to under root of, see here, this is a triangle. Base will represent ohmic resistance, height will represent reactance, and the combined opposition is known as impedance, and that is given by what? That is given by hypotenuse. So Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. XL minus XC whole square. Also, see here, phi represent angle by which voltage leads the current. See here, this is voltage, this is current. So phi represent angle by which voltage leads the current in series LCR circuit, and tan of phi is equal to, that tan phi is equal to AK upon OA, AK upon OA, and that is equal to EL minus EC upon ER, or it is equal to I0 XL minus I0 XC upon I0 into R, or we can say tan of phi is equal to XL minus XC divided by R. So in the examination there might be a separate question on impedance triangle. Then you can write in series LCR circuit you must draw this phasor diagram, three phasor diagram, and from the three phasor diagram we can draw the conclusion ER equal to I0R, EL equal to I0XL, EC equal to I0XC. And then you can write Z equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC square. It represents the impedance, and tan phi equal to XL minus XC divided by R. So this is about a series LCR circuit. What is the impedance? What is the effective current, as well as what? The voltages across inductor, capacitor and resistance that we had studied.